Genuinely, I think too many young guys make the mistake of always being in a relationship, always jumping into something new when something old has ended, always wanting to have a girlfriend at some specific time and feeling like crap if you don't have one occupying you at any given moment in your life. It's like I've had a lot of friends over the years where it seems like the second they're out of a relationship, they're kind of like feeling bad for themselves and wanting to be in a new one. They don't feel secure or comfortable just being alone, being single, and it can be very destructive in a lot of ways. I think you almost want to feel validated. You want to have someone in your life that can really see you for who you are, that you can go on dates with and have cool experiences with. And it feels like that's the most natural, beautiful thing about life, and you want that while you're young. But I think really, and at least from my perspective, from my opinion, of having been single for 5 years and having friends that were always in and out of toxic relationships, I think when you're young, you really shouldn't get a girlfriend. I think when you're young and you're pursuing your dreams, like maybe you just turned an adult, you're in college, like you're really at that stage of your life where you need all of your time focused on your future, getting into a stable position, figuring out your life, figuring out what you really want, learning how to be happy and comfortable and the things you care about, the things that you want to be pursuing. And in a way, having the wrong partner can cause problems in those pursuits. I've had a lot of friends where they started to realize that genuinely their dreams were put on hold while they were in this relationship because having a girlfriend was so demanding of their time and their energy, and they didn't even really feel like they had the drive to pursue their dreams while they were in that relationship. They felt like it made them complacent, and then they were kind of waiting for that relationship to end until they could start chasing their dreams again. I think a genuine, real partner can inspire you and motivate you to want to change your life and improve it. But at that young age, I feel like for the most part, people aren't that capable of being partners, of seeing each other eye to eye on the right level. I think, most people don't examine the reasons why they're looking for a relationship. Like, are you looking for the mother of your children? Are you looking for someone who you'll actually be with for a long time? You can cultivate a close friendship with and a foundation of trust and acceptance and understanding of each other and your strengths and weaknesses and the things you care about? Or is it just some biological, just on a whim sort of thing where you feel like you just want a girlfriend because that'd be fun and, enjoyable and everyone else around you has one? It's like I've been single for 5 years now, and it's not necessarily because I'm like anti girl. I have a lot of friends who are girls, but I've just realized that being in a relationship would kind of hold me back from my highest potential. Like I'm a very driven, ambitious person. I want to, be a published author within a couple of years. I want to be successful on YouTube. I want to, learn languages and be going to the gym. And I really only have so much time in my day. If I'm working a job and I'm doing all of those things, investing in a person who might not stick around forever isn't a good investment. My friends, I'm very confident in that they'll be around for a long time. But the sad thing about relationships is, for the most part, unless you marry this person eventually, it's going to end someday. And so all of the effort and energy and time you've invested into this person will sort of end up being wasted in a way. Like, I've had friends where they had a relationship with a girl for years, and when it was over, they just hated this girl. They were like, wow, like, I cannot believe, like, she was such a rude person. Like, she was so terrible. Like, all they have to say is bad things about this person. And I'm like, why did you invest all of that time and money and energy and effort into this person if, you thought they were capable of that at all? It just ended up being a mistake that they almost like regretted and are constantly like kind of complaining about. And I think, I've started to realize that I want to get my life established. I want to get into a very firm, comfortable position before I'm looking for something like that. And obviously, I think it's all circumstantial. If I came across the right girl and I really felt like she was mature and I was ready for something like that at that period of my life, circumstantially, whatever, it might be possible. But for the most part, I've learned to be comfortable with being single, comfortable with having other things in my life to fulfill me. Because I think, if you have things you care about, but you have a girlfriend, it can make you complacent. It can make you feel comfortable. Like, that's all that's necessary in life. You have a girlfriend, you have something that, is consistent and they care about you, and, that's enough. You don't feel like you have this hunger to go out and prove yourself in a way. And I think unless my partner someday was someone that really supported and encouraged my dreams and could really see eye to eye with me on that level, then ultimately I would just end up having some amount of spite towards her because she was just holding me back to some extent. I think women at a certain age aren't capable of, having that kind of relationship. Men aren't either, really. I'm not saying I'm capable of having that relationship. That's why I'm not ready to get married yet. I'm not ready to commit to someone for life. I think in general, most of the reason why people would tell you to have a lot of relationships when you're young is for the experience. They say like you'll learn how to treat people right. You'll learn all of these specific social skills. It'll be a good thing for you in all of these specific ways. But I think genuinely, at this point in your life, you're in an unstable position. Like you don't really know what you're doing. There's a lot of things you have to figure out. And I think in a way it's best to go it alone. You can have friends, people to support you, but being in a relationship through all of that, I genuinely don't think it's going to be best for most people. Especially if you're someone who feels like you've struggled to get into relationships, like maybe you've wanted a girlfriend for so long, maybe you're watching videos about how to pick up girls, maybe there's something that even though you've never examined it, like is something you did kind of want or thought about or romanticized in your head, this perfect girl. When you really, boil it down and think about the reasons why you want this thing, it's not out of actual necessity. It's not because you think it's going to improve the trajectory of your life. It's genuinely just because, you feel that way out of some biological urge. You don't want to be alone. You want to have someone you can call a partner. You can go do romantic things together, go on dates. But if you're just being, logical here, if you're just looking at things from the perspective of your future self at this period of your life, I think you'd realize that maybe, putting more effort into yourself and less effort into the relationship that you might have with this person that can end and can be wasted potential, you'd realize maybe I should cultivate a better relationship with myself. Maybe I should learn how to accept myself for who I am and not need anyone else's approval and not need to be looking for something superficial to fulfill me. Like, I think everything I'm saying is kind of conditional because if you genuinely think you're in a relationship where this person is a partner and it's an equal give and take and they're encouraging you and helping you fulfill your dreams and you don't feel like it is a strain on you in any way, then congratulations. You found someone that could genuinely be a partner for life. But a lot of my friends, they've expressed to me over the years that they almost wanted to break up with their girlfriend because they felt like it had made them complacent and they didn't really feel like themselves anymore and they didn't feel like they had time to pursue anything else in their lives. And they didn't even feel like they really knew their girlfriend. They'd never really been able to open up on that level because they're both kind of just young, dumb kids and they're not capable of having what ultimately goes on to become a marriage in some way. And so I think, at least for me, maybe this doesn't apply to everyone. I think I'd like to wait. I'm, I'm the kind of person where I don't like to do things on a whim. If I'm going to get into a position where I'm ready to date someone, it's only when I feel like I'm ready to get married, when I feel like I'm ready to start looking for the woman that I want to be partners with for life. And until then, I think I'd like to get into a position where I'm actually capable of supporting a marriage and having kids someday and having a house. And trust me, in this economy, there's a lot to worry about when it comes to that. There's a lot of things that you need to work through and figure out on your own and become a disciplined, consistent, hardworking individual so you can actually support and maintain something like that. Because if you can't, then almost every relationship you're going to find is just going to be some temporary thing that might fulfill you, might make you feel like the king of the world for a while, but it inevitably crashes and burns and leaves you the victim of it all. With that, I'll leave you guys off.